The next 8 lines are extremely interesting from the technical point of view. They seem to form a stanza which is closer to traditional poetry than to verse libre. The lines are closer to the metered line than to the free verse line. There is a clear rhyme scheme, and the rhyme scheme is A B A B C D C D. I think the problem with T.S. Eliot was that he was too voracious a reader. His critics would say that he was overlearned. And whenever he wrote something, consciously or unconsciously, what he wrote became richly elusive. It became a sort of habit with him. Allusions to the passages from the numerous texts that he had read, absorbed, and digested became embedded in his work. The present stanza is evocative of the song in The Vicar of Wakefield. The Vicar of Wakefield, as you know, is the extremely popular 18th century novel by the Irish writer Oliver Goldsmith. The song discusses the fate of a woman who allows her sexual urge to get the better of her wisdom when a lovely woman stoops to folly. She then realizes that men betray. What is to be done now? According to the speaker, there is nothing to be done. To cover her guilt, to hide her shame, to give repentance to her lover, to wring her bosom, except to die. Let me try to remember the lines. When a lovely woman stoops to folly and finds too late that men betray, what charm can soothe her melancholy? What art can wash her guilt away? The only art her guilt to cover, to hide her shame from every eye, to give repentance to her lover and wring her bosom, is to die. The stanza under discussion is a kind of parody of the song in The Vicar of Wakefield. In Goldsmith, the woman who commits folly has no option except to die. Death is the only solution for such a woman. However, here in the wasteland, the scenario is dramatically different. Much water has flowed in the Thames since the days of Oliver Goldsmith and the Vicar of Wakefield. Here, the woman takes a look at herself in the glass, in the mirror, in the looking glass. She is hardly aware that her lover has departed. She is hardly aware that the copulation has ended. It is so mechanical, so uninteresting, so lacking in anything except the merely physical. And the thought that comes to her, and it is only a half formed thought, is that she is glad that it is over. In Goldsmith, the woman had no option but to die. In Eliot, the woman has a much better option. She paces about her room. She smooths her hair with automatic hand, mechanical movement, the artificial life of the wastelanders, and puts a record on the gramophone. What a brilliant option! I would like to read the last four lines of the stanza. When a lovely woman stoops to folly and paces about her room again alone, she smooths her hair with automatic hand and puts a record on the gramophone. How different is this woman from the woman in Goldsmith? What the poet wants to turn the spotlight on is the fact that sex has become unimportant, casual, mechanical, and it is totally devoid of moral, spiritual, emotional values. The gramophone is an old kind of record player. It was invented in the late 19th century and was quite popular in the Europe of the 1920s, which is the locale of the present narrative. In the gramophone, sounds are produced by a needle amplifying the lines, amplifying the grooves on the record, which is a circular plate. I think that the gramophone is an appropriate symbol for the life of the wastelanders, which is pre recorded, pre planned, artificial, mechanical, and repetitive. Incidentally, I remember listening to the gramophone every evening as a child in my grandfather's house during the vacations.